You often recommend Noodler's X Feather as a good everyday black due to its properties. Sure, I usually recommend Noodler's Black or Heart of Darkness above X Feather, but X Feather can be good on some cheaper papers. Yeah, sure, it fits in there. I don't recommend against X Feather. It's usually not my go-to. It's usually like my number 3 Noodler's Black recommendation, but that's okay. So the question is, do you have a recommendation of a good everyday blue ink? Well, it's funny you should ask. I just happen to love blue inks, Christine. So X Feather is a permanent ink, okay? So since you mentioned X Feather there, I'll stick to some permanent ink recommendations first, and then I'll recommend some that are not permanent. So some permanent ones, one of my favorite blues that's kind of in that darker range like X Feather is Noodler's 54th Massachusetts. Unbelievably popular ink, really performs well overall, very water resistant. Another one that I'm obviously a huge fan of is Noodler's Liberty's Elysium. It's not as permanent as these other ones like X Feather and 54th, but it definitely has a permanent component to it. So if you want something that's going to be traceable for a while, like it does have some fraud resistant aspects to it. Liberty's Elysium, it's a brighter blue, like pretty much like the color of my walls here. So big fan of that. And then Rohrer and Klingner Salix. That's more of a blue-black, kind of like 54th, different shade though. But Rohrer and Klingner Salix is really good. So I'm a big fan of that one as well. Very, very water resistant as well. For some non-permanent recommendations, I like Noodlers Blue. That was actually what inspired me for Liberty's Elysium. You know, I was using Noodlers Blue a lot, especially my Blue Custom 74. And I told Nathan, hey, is there a way that we can get, or I asked him, I should say, is there a way that we can get a permanent version of Noodler's Blue? Because that's pretty much what I wanted. That's where Liberty's Elysium came about. So Noodler's Blue in of itself is a fantastic ink. I love it. Another one in that similar shade, that kind of mid-range shade of blue, Pilot Iroshizuku Kon-Peki. Just smooth flow, low maintenance, performs well, dries quickly. It's a great just blue ink, very attractive color. Gorgeous bottle. It's more expensive. The Atramentis Indigo Blue is a good one. That one is a darker blue, a little bit of sheen to it, but it is kind of neat. You know, I almost recommended Diamine Majestic Blue because I use that a lot. That one is not necessarily the best as an everyday blue because it tends to smear and it's got a little bit of long dry time. So as much as I love it, I usually don't go to recommend it as just kind of an everyday ink unless you kind of know what you're getting into. Indigo Blue is a similar kind of blue, but it doesn't have as much of that kind of, you know, hassle factor as Majestic Blue, but I still love Majestic Blue. And then another good one is J.Herbin Eclat de Saphir. That's a good one too. Blue with a little bit more purple to it. A good alternative to Bay State Blue if you like the vibrancy and kind of the color shade of Bay State Blue, but don't want you know, kind of the hassle of having to clean that up. Eclat de Saphir is much lower maintenance, not as vibrant as Bay State Blue, obviously, because there is no replacement for that. But Eclat is a really good alternative, nice kind of easy to clean, easy to maintain, bright blue ink. And those are some of the kind of just like top of mind recommendations that I have. I really, you can't go wrong with any of these kind of mid-range blues. They all really generally perform pretty well, clean pretty easily. So that's a great, that kind of that mid-range color is a really good one for an everyday blue. Okay.